God, all praise to the Most High, man. Let's get the Most High in hand, man. We out here doing the work and laboring in His vineyard right now, man.
That's right.
All right, bringing forth the fruit. Let me get Psalms chapter 1 real quick. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 15 from the top. Yeah, Psalms chapter 1.
This is the book of Psalms.
Come on, man, right? We out here to sit there and wake up our people just like the brother said, man. Let me get Micah chapter 3 and verse number 8. All right? Yeah, it's all good. I know it's cold out here, too.
This is the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1 and verse number 1.
Read it out.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Blessed is the man that follows after the works of the Most High. That follows after the works of their forefathers, man, and righteousness, man. That follows after the works of David, of Josiah, man, of these righteous kings and rulers that we had over our people once upon a time, man.
Right, that's right.
Right? You understand? Blessed is that man rather than the man that's following after ungodly. Rather than the man that's following after damn Keisha, because you got a fat ass. Rather than the man that sit there and follow after his damn a bud dealer, man. Right? Go ahead.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful.
Hey, you shouldn't even be around these people, man. Right? You shouldn't even sit there. Hey, it said, be not right? Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers, man. Right? And it said evil manners, evil communications, right? My damn brain is lagging a little bit. Right? But evil communications doth corrupt good manners, man.
That's right.
You understand?
What? But his delight is the law of the Lord.
You got to delight yourself in the law of the Lord, man. The law of the Most High, man. The things that He gave us for inspiration, a way of life, man. Instruction, guidance, prudence, man. Wealth.
That's right.
You understand? Industrialism. You got to understand first and foremost that our forefathers, hey, guess what? They was in the field, man. They was building stuff. They was herdsmen. You understand? Right? They had much cattle. Right? So these are different things that we got to get back to as our heritage. These are our traditions, man.
That's right.
And in His law doeth He meditate day and night.
Hey, you should be meditating upon the law all throughout the Bible, man. Day and night, man. Meditating upon the precepts, man. Meditating upon different accounts, man. Bringing them into fruition and bringing them into light of what you're going through currently, man. Or what a brother may be going through currently, man. Right? Relating it to the scriptures. Damn, you know, it's not word for word verbatim, but you know, hey, brother kind of going through the same thing X, Y, and Z was going through in the scriptures, man. Right? And you could pull the account up. Y'all could read the account together. Y'all get built up in the spirit, man. Right? These different things are written for our learning sakes, just like it says in Romans 15:4, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Right, this is the point. Go ahead.
That bringeth forth his fruit.
That does what?
That bringeth forth his fruit.
Right? Hey, it just laid the whole entire foundation down, man. First and foremost, you separate yourself. You separate yourself from the world, man. Right? You stop walking after the counsel of the ungodly, man. You start walking after godly men. Right? Your forefathers, man. Our kings and our rulers, our princes, man. Right? It's a whole foundation. It's a system, man. All from verse 1 all the way down to what verse you at, King? 3? Right? All the way down to verse 3, man. It's a whole entire foundation, an introductory step-by-step tutorial of when you enter into this truth, man. Right? You sit there and separate from the ungodly, man. Right? Follow not after the ways of them. Read verse 2.
Verse number 2. But his delight is in the law of the Lord.
Right, now you're building yourself up in the scriptures. You're getting knowledge from the scriptures. You're getting understanding. You're building yourself up, meditating upon the law therein day and night. Right, go ahead.
And his law doeth he meditate day and night.
Go ahead.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water.
Right, and hey, with all of that comes more wisdom, comes more knowledge, comes more experience. You understand? Right, so whereas though what?
That bringeth forth his fruit.
That what?
That bringeth forth his fruit.
And now you're giving fruit unto the Most High, man. Now He is pleased, man. He's able to walk through the vineyard and look at you and say, hey, he's putting forth the fruit, man. He's putting forth the works, man. The spiritual works that he needs to put forth, man. I'm gonna let that one be. And he kind of goes to the next one, and that one is withering, it's falling over. What's going on, sister? You know your nationality according to the Bible? Right? And then you got the one next door, it's kind of withering, it's falling over, man. Right? Damn near ready to give up the ghost. Hey, the Lord sit there and say, hey, cut this one down. We're going to put a new one here. You understand? Hey, that's how this thing goes, man. So you got to make sure each and every day that you're doing all that you can to please the Most High. Right? Don't you feel like that, brother? You feel like you're doing everything that you can to please the Most High each and every day? Come on, you can drop that. Let me get Micah chapter 3 and verse number 8.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Yeah.
But truly, I am full of power.
What?
But truly, I am full of power. By the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin.
That's right, man. And that's why we out here, man. We got power in our spirit, man. Right? We got the Most High on our side. Man.
Right.
Let me go Galatians chapter 4 and verse number 1 real quick. Right? And we got power by the Most High, man. Because what? We're heirs of the Most High, man. We're heirs of the Most High. We got an inheritance that that's been left to us, man. Right? Bring it out. Yeah, 4 and start at verse number 1.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 1. Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child,
Take your time, brother.
differeth nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all, but is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
That's right, right. We're underneath a period to where as though we're being built up, man.
That's right, that's right.
Right, read it one more time from the top.
Come on, man. Go break it down.
Come on, this is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Bring it up.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differeth nothing from a servant.
There's no difference from the heir, right, when he is a child from a servant. Because why? The heir is getting built up. It's watching his father, right? You're sitting there watching the father, man, right? Learning in his footsteps, getting built up in the knowledge and the understanding and the wisdom through experience, through time. You understand? Through journeys that the Lord is putting us on, man, right? Hey, in this case, we are the heir, right? And our father, hey, guess what? That's the leader right there. That's the king, man. King of kings, Lord of lords, man, right? And we're learning from him right now. How? Through these scriptures right here, which we're relating for our learning sakes, man. Through the spirit and power of which he manifests us to do, man. Sure. Let me get Philippians chapter 2 and verse number 13. Right? Because we're going to break this all down through the spirit, man.
Break it down to the last compound.
That's right, like the brother said. Philippians chapter 2 and verse number 13.
Bring it up.
You got it?
Because when you break it
This
down
is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 13.
Bring it up.
For it is God which worketh in you.
It's that what?
For it is God which worketh in you.
It's just us.
For it is God which worketh in you.
Hey, that's how we're full of power, man, because it's the Most High that's working through us. Go ahead.
Both to will and to do of his good pleasure.
Hey, and the Most High, hey, he uses us as vessels to do what? To execute things in order to his pleasure, man. Whatsoever he will, man. Hey, guess what? If he wants you to get into a car accident, that's to the Lord's pleasure. It was already set up from times of old. Right? If the Lord wants you to sit there and run into some money, hey, guess what? You're going to run into it, man. Right? And that's of his good pleasure. He had that set up from times of old, man. Everything was set up since the foundations of the world, man.
That's right, that's right.
There's nothing that's being, bestowed upon or thought upon up there in the third heaven.
Come on, man.
That the Most High is telling, hey, Yahushua, hey, I need you to go ahead and handle this. No, Yahushua is resting in that on the right-hand side of the Most High, man. Waiting for that decree from the angels, man.
Amen.
Right? That saying the threshing is right, man. Right? To sit there and pretty much come in to overthrow this place, man. You understand? Go back to Galatians chapter 4, verse
Turn the
1.
mountains to dust.
Galatians 4, verse number 1. I didn't want y'all to drop that. And also, I want you to hold Micah 3 and 8 too. Dude. Yeah, come on.
Now I say, this is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse number 1.
Bring it up.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from a servant through his...
Real quick. Hey, King. Hey, brother, I was just standing up here. You're an Israelite, brother. You gotta repent, keep the Most High's commandments, all right? You heard what I said? You were an Israelite.
No, I'm the first and the last. I am. That I am.
Damn. All right. Read that from the top.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse number 1.
Bring it up.
Now I say that the heir, as long as he is a child, differs nothing from a servant, though he be Lord of all.
Right, though he be Lord of all, man. Hey, he's a child, man. You gonna sit there and give all your possessions to a 2-year-old? What the hell you think your 2-year-old gonna do, man? Gonna sit there and run your damn cards up, man. Right? Get the Barbie doll. If you got a princess, hey, guess what? They're gonna sit there and get the Barbie dolls and the what? I can't even ask brothers, man. Right? But hey, then you got a son, man. What's your son be wanting?
Hot wheel car.
Damn Hot Wheel car, man. Right? You might sit there and buy a mega size, a life size Hot Wheel, man. Right? AKA, he might sit there and get a real Lamborghini, man.
They want video games now.
Yeah, video games, all types of stuff. Well, at 2 years old, they're not really even thinking about video games. They might get a dog, right? You're not going to sit there and give all your possessions. At the end of the day, you're not going to give your possessions unto your son when they're a child. You're not thinking in their right mind state. You got to raise them up. You got to build them up. They got to go through that adolescence period. They got to go through that period of experience, man. Or were you actually taking them out there to the field with you, man? Building them up in the spiritual warfare, man, the things in which we go through. Right, go ahead.
Verse number 2.
Look it up.
But it is under tutors and governors until the time appointed of the Father.
Right, and there's time appointed to where as though the Lord is going to say, hey, cool, y'all can have y'all land back, man. Right, the land that floweth with milk and honey, man. Y'all gonna have y'all gold crowns, man. Y'all gonna have y'all white robes. Y'all gonna have the double-edged swords, man. Y'all gonna have the nations in subjection to y'all, man. When the time is come. But guess what? Y'all are still children.
Right.
Y'all are still servants unto me. Y'all still gotta abide, hey, my house, my rules. And that's how the Lord, hey, that's how the Lord is moving in these last days, man. Right? Until we reach the time appointed. Right now we're underneath what? Tutors and governors?
Governors. Until the time appointed of the Father.
Right.
Even so, even so we, when we were children, were in bondage under the elements of the world.
That's right. Because we didn't know anything, man. We thought everything of this world was the only thing that mattered, man, because that's all we seen. You understand? We were ignorant. We didn't have any knowledge, right? Because we were, what? Children. Children, they don't know anything unless you sit there and teach them, man. That's why I said, raise up a child in the way that he should go, man. You understand? Because, hey, they learn through their environment. Right, go ahead.
When they get old, they will not depart from it.
Exactly.
Verse number 4. But when the fullness of the time was come, Yahweh sent forth his son, made of a woman, made under the law,
Right.
to redeem them that were under the law, that we might receive the adoption of sons. And because ye are sons, Yahweh have sent forth the spirit of his son into the hearts, crying, Abba, Father, where thou art no more a servant, but a son. And if a son, then be a heir of Yahweh.
Be a what?
Be an heir of Yahweh. Through Christ.
Through who?
Through Christ.
That's right, man. We're heirs of the Most High through Hamashiach Yahushai, man.
We're sons of God.
Exactly. And it said because ye are sons of God, ye are heirs of the Most High God.
So
Which means what?
So everything we're heirs of, we touch our hands on, that's ours because our Father,
That's right.
It is ours.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see, people, they sit there and read these epistles and they get jammed up, man.
Yeah.
But all Paul does is literally recite what was already stated most of the time.
Right.
You understand? Because what did the Lord say? Wheresoever we step, hey, it belongs to us, man. Roughly paraphrasing. He didn't say that for no reason. You understand?
The white man came and stole it, so we trying to get it back from them.
Right. But hey, the Lord set that up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Just like we read. Right? Hey, Philippians 2:13, both to will and to his own pleasure, man. Right? Hey, it's pleasure for him to chastise us. Because why? He knows what's going to come out of it. He knows that his children, hey, they're going to start listening.
That's the white devil. The white devil don't stole something from us, so we need to get it. We're going to get it back.
That's right, man. Let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse number 9. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. Yeah, brothers don't got
Come
to
on.
Bring it up, bring it
This is
up.
the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 9.
Bring it up.
For Esau is the end of the world.
what?
For Esau is the end of the world. And Jacob,
what?
and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
That's right, man. Hey, this place is coming to an end, man.
That's right.
Let me get Matthew chapter 24 and verse number 10. You understand? This place is coming to an end at the end of the day, man. Right? Esau is the end of the world, man. But Jacob is the beginning thereof that follows, man. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 10.
Right, what's going on, brother? You know your nationality according to the Bible? You got 60 seconds to find out.
I was a rush.
You say
You're an Israelite.
You're Khan, right? You're an Israelite, king. You gotta repent, keep the Most High commandments. That's the moral of the story. Right? Bring it out.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
Start up a verse.
Verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you.
Start at verse number... Start at 5. Khan.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right, and all these things are already going on, man. And you just had the damn... You had damn Jake sit there and say, hey, I am that I am, man.
That's
I'm
right.
the Alpha and the Omega, man. Try, see that, man? These are things that are already going on, man.
Right.
Right? What's going on, brothers? Y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? What's your nationality, King?
Come back. 1 minute.
You said what now?
Israel.
You said Israel?
Israel.
Okay, what tribe? You said what tribe?
Tribe? No, I didn't say no tribe.
What tribe you from, though? You say you don't know?
I gotta keep going, bro.
You already
We can dialogue for 60 seconds?
30 seconds.
Hey, brother, we can dialogue for 60 seconds? I know you gotta go, but 60 seconds?
1 minute, King.
Damn line snap.
Come. Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass.
That's right, all these things gotta come to pass, man. Right, and these are things that have been going on, man. Right, you've been had men that sat there and said, hey, I'm such and such, man. Look at what the Romans sat there and did, man. Right? Look at what Pope Alexander the VI sat there and did, man. Right? Sat there and painted a picture, right? And covered the faces of our judges, man. Right? Just like it says in Job chapter 9 verse number 24. And made Caesarea Borgias, right? So-called Jesus Christ, man. This is madness, man. But this is the things that we have to go through first and foremost to what? Unveil the prophecy. To unveil the end of times, man. Go ahead.
But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places.
That's right. And these things are, hey, some of these things are starting to happen, man. Hey, the famines, they're getting ready to kick off. I guarantee you, once this so-called holiday season is over, hey, it ain't gonna be no more food, man. The eggnog gonna get kicked off the shelves alongside with everything else. Ain't gonna be no more bread, ain't gonna be no more milk, ain't no more eggs, man. We know what's going on, man. Right? And that's why we're building ourselves up for this time, man. There's no games going on no more, man. Hey, the Lord told us to set our house in order, man.
That's right.
We get 2 Ezra chapter 14 real quick.
Pretty soon, there ain't gonna be no food, period. We're gonna go real food short.
Verse number, start at 8.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 8. That thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations
which thou hast heard.
Right? We gotta lay these things up to heart, man.
That's right.
We gotta understand what the Lord is actually trying to show us, man. You got brothers that sit there and have vivid dreams, man, of the end and the destruction, man. And we lay those things up to heart, man. We don't just sit there and throw them to the wayside and say, hey, we might be here for another 20 years, so. Hey, I'm finna go to work. I'm gonna go get some overtime.
All
right. You said what now?
The Bible is fulfilling itself.
Yeah.
People better wake up to
Well,
it.
the Lord's fulfilling the Bible.
Like the Lord fulfilling the Bible, and people better wake up to it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, what's going on, Kings? Y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? Come holler at me real quick. Come holler at me real quick. Come on. Y'all got a minute. Right? You know your nationality according to the Bible? All right, you trying to find out in less than 6 seconds? Deuteronomy 28:68. Deuteronomy 7:6. Deuteronomy 1:1 as well.
I got that.
Right, we're going to break it down all within the book.
I got 60.
All right, come on. I want 7-6 first, real quick.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse number 6.
Read it up.
For thou art an holy people.
Now, if I say thou, doesn't that sound like I'm talking to you? I'm not saying y'all, right? I'm talking to you. You're a holy people, right? Go ahead.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Right?
The Lord thy God has chosen thee
Brother, he chose you. Go ahead.
to be a special people unto himself, above all that are upon the face of the earth.
Brother, don't you feel like you're above everybody that's upon the face of the earth? We play ball the best, football, basketball, we box the best, we run the best. And guess what? Anything you can name, hey, we do it the best, man. We cook the best. Bring it out. And we got the best food, man. Go ahead.
The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people.
Right, now sit on that. Right, let me get Deuteronomy 28:68.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Now we're gonna break down to you. There's a reason why we don't have the best things in the world right now. We're the best at everything, but we don't got the best things, man. Why is that? You said because we black? Let me get verse 46, actually.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 46.
Look it up.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, upon thy seed forever.
What is he talking about will be upon us? Do you know? Jump up a verse.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses.
All these what?
All these curses.
There's curses that's been placed upon us. You ever heard of generational curses? Our people, they typically say, how are we going to break these generational curses? Why do we feel like we're cursed as a people, man? We can't make it out the hood. No matter how hard we try. And then we have that one relative that gets out the hood. He either greedy, he either lose all his money, or he died over some nonsense. Look what happened to Takeoff, man. Why you got all that money and you playing in a dice game? And then you get caught lacking by a straight bullet. Come on, man. You feel me? Read that.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and take over thee,
Right, go ahead.
till thou be destroyed.
Jump to 68. Right, so these curses, they would pursue us, man, and they would constantly come after us until we've been destroyed. What? Mentally. You understand? And our people are destroyed mentally. What's going on, family?
Come on.
This is the last verse
Hey,
right
come
here.
on, King. Come back.
This is the last verse right here. Hey, King.
Don't let him pull you away.
Go ahead. Right, y'all listening? All right, bet. 28:16.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So what?
Into Egypt again.
Egypt was for the Israelites. It was slavery. They were in slavery in Egypt. You understand? Pharaoh was ruling over them very rigorously. Right? Go ahead.
Again with ships.
What's that word?
Again with ships.
So it's saying we should go into slavery again with ships. And how did we get over here? During 1619, some scholars would say. How did we get over here? What way of transportation? Exactly. Don't you know this is in the Bible? Prophesied 3,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. This is in the Bible, brother. This thing speaks volumes. It comes to life. You understand? It's not a game. It's not a gimmick. It's not a book. It's not a fairy tale. You understand? This thing lives. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Have you ever seen your homeland again? You know where you from? Where you from? You said Indiana? Brother, that's a state in America. Where you from before that? Are you from Israel, brother?
That's right.
We all from Israel. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they're the modern day Israelites. You understand? Our heritage has been stripped from us. You following what Kanye West has been saying? Kyrie Irving, Nick Cannon, Ice Cube. All these people have came out and said that we're the real Jews. Kodak Black, right? Carmelo Anthony.
Bring it out, kid.
Sat there and said the 12 tribes of Israel. Hey, we could talk about the 12 tribes of Israel because that's who we are. Go ahead. Finish that out.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
We've been sold to our enemies, man. The so-called white men, they've oppressed us, man, and taken crafty counsel against our people, man. They cut us off from being a heritage. That's why we don't know who we are. That's why we're called black, nigger, negro, right? Color, spicks, spooks, jigaboos, porch monkeys. Hey, the list goes on. Go ahead.
For bond men and bond women, and no man shall buy you.
Right? And no man has redeemed us out of the slavery in which we have gone into. You understand? So, brother, does this sup with your spirit? You're an Israelite, King. That's why. These things have happened to your forefathers and foremothers. And the same thing for you, brother. Brother walking away. You're an Israelite. You gotta repent, keep the Most High commandments. Yeah, you. Right? You got a flyer? Get you a flyer, King. Come on.
One last verse, King. One last verse. One last verse.
If they are real friends, they're not going to leave.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 10, verse 12. And now, Israel, what doth the Lord God require of thee?
How did you know that you're Israel? There's stipulations, you understand? Because we had a contract agreement with the Most High at one point, but we fell away from that. You understand? We sat there and started doing our own thing, breaking the contract agreement. Now we got to get back to it. Because guess what? The curses that we're going through and the consequences of which we have been facing is because we broke the contract agreement.
But to keep, but to fear the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul, to keep the commandments of the Lord and his statutes, which I command thee this day, for thy good.
For thy what?
For thy good.
Brother, these commandments that the Lord has given unto us, and guess what? They're for our good. Because they teach us how to be industrious. They teach us the ways to wealth and prosperity. They teach us how to get eternal life. This society is not teaching you that. Kodak Black, I mean, not anymore at least, you understand? Kodak Black, he's not really rapping about damn Israelites no more. He sat there and said that one bar, I'm an Israelite, my diamonds Israel ice, and then kind of faded off the scene and started rapping about damn strippers and butt naked girls again, man. What was Lil Key rapping around? What about Young Thug, Gunna? They don't rap about shit, you feel me? But this is your heritage, you understand? Right? And y'all not gonna leave him. That's y'all brother at the end of the day, right? Right? Y'all got a flyer for the brother?
Stop fucking rushing me. Alright, bro, we're gonna leave.
That's right. He stood on business. Yo, take the flyer, King. Take the flyer. Take the flyer. There's a QR code on there. Right? And that brother wasn't moved through the spirit, man. All praise to the Most High. Right, what's going on, family? Y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? Right? And y'all going into slavery. Right? So enjoy the little bit of time that y'all have before you have a stroke, heart attack, or whatever the hell it may be. Right? So, let's dive back into it, man. Let me go back to 2 Ezra chapter 14 and verse number, go to 6.
The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 6.
Pick it up.
These words shalt thou declare, and these shalt thou hide. And now I say unto thee, that thou lay up in thy heart the signs that I have showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretations which thou hast heard. For thou shalt be taken away from all, and from henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, and with such as be like thee, until the times be ended.
Right? Hey, so guess what, man? These different things, we got to lay them up to heart, man. The understanding of which we have gotten by the Most High, the revelations that we have received. What's going on, family? Y'all know your nationality according to the Bible? You say, yeah? Y'all more than likely be Israelites. Y'all got to repent, come back to the Most High in these last days, sisters. Right. So, what a verse, I believe it's 12.
Collins, book of 2 Ezra, chapter 14 and verse 12.
Pick it up.
I don't see that. Okay, Collins, verse 12.
Pick it up.
And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part, Now therefore, set thine house in order.
Do what?
Set thine house in order.
Hey, we're setting our house in order, man. Go to Leviticus chapter 14. Right? Go to Leviticus chapter 14, and I believe start at verse number 33. And we setting our house back in order, man, spiritually, man. Because guess what? Hey, judgment's going to start at the house of the Lord first and foremost, man. So we got to make sure we getting things, our ducks in a row, man. Let me get 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 5 real quick, too. What you got? Okay, come on. Let me, can you get that for me? 1 Peter chapter 2 and 5, Brother Kashaw. Come on, hold that. You good, King. Right? Because we're a spiritual house unto the Lord, man. Right? We're a spiritual house unto the Lord. And we're building up the temple right now in this land that we're in.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones.
As what?
As lively stones.
As what?
As lively stones.
The Lord has likened us unto stones. For what reason? Go ahead.
Are built up a spiritual house.
Hey, what?
A spiritual house.
Go ahead.
A holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to God by Yahweh Shai.
That's right, man. And we're a spiritual house unto the Lord, man. And we're lively stones. So guess what? Each and every brother is a stone that consists of the most high spiritual house, man. Right. And this is why you have to make sure you're as blameless as possible, man. And why you have to examine yourself. And why you have to fast. And why you have to pray. And why you have to give alms. And why you have to sit there and do all of the things of which it takes to stay on fire in this truth, man. Because guess what? The moment the Lord sits there and see any type of leprosy, we're about to get into it. The Lord see any type of leprosy, spot, blemish, or stain on that stone, and he's going to sit there and pluck it out, and he's going to throw it to the side and put a new one in.
That's right.
This is why we try to stand on our business, man. Right? As the elder would say, man. We try to stand on business. Right? We try to get things in order, man. Right? Now, go to verse number, I believe, 33.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 14, and verse number 33.
Look it up.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when ye be come into the land of Canaan, which I give thee, which I give unto thee, hold on, which I give unto you for a possession, and to put the plague of leprosy in a house of the land of your possession. And he that owneth the house shall come and tell the priest, saying, it seems to me there is as there a plague in the house.
Right? And this is the first step to sit in there. Hey, you got to confess your faults, man. It said the owner of that house should be going towards the priest and saying, hey, there's some type of leprosy in the house, man. And we got to figure this out, man. That comes with self-examination, man. That comes with critique. That comes with being able to confess your faults, man. Go ahead.
36. Verse 36.
Look it up.
Then the priest shall command that they empty the house.
Now you gotta empty the house, man. You gotta isolate the situation, man. Make sure other people are not being affected by this instance, man. You gotta sit there and help the owner do some examination, man. Right? All right. Well, how the hell did this start, man? Did it start here, or did it start here, right? Or did it start here, man? You gotta isolate the situation, just like CSI, crime scene investigation, man. Right? What's going on, King? You know your nationality according to the Bible, brother? Israelite. You say you're an Israelite? How you know that, brother? You said what now? Well, all praise to the Most High, brother. You gotta strive to keep the commandments to the best of your ability, and Lord willing, we'll see you again.
Right.
Right? So, at the end of the day, man, Shalaki, you go ahead and go. I lost my train of thought.
Verse 36. Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priest go into it to see the plague, that all that is in the house be made unclean.
That's right.
And afterward the priest shall go into the house, go into to see the house. And 37. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls, of the house with hollow stakes, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall. Then the priest shall go out of the house of the door. Go house to the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days.
It said what?
And shut up the house 7 days.
Okay, so now you got to sit there and look at these things on a spiritual fold, man. Right now, this is literally on a physical fold, right? This is literally counsel that the Lord had given unto Moses and Aaron, man, as the priests. You understand? They had to execute these different offices and understand, hey, what to do in certain scenarios, man. If there's lepers in the house, they got to understand how to situate it. Handle the situation, man. Right? But we got to look at it, hey, we're spiritual priests now. Right? We're a royal priesthood.
That's right.
So guess what? We got to know how to do the same thing through the Spirit.
That's right.
We got to sit there and know how to do Operation Clean House, man.
That's right.
Right? What's going on, brother? You know your nationality according to the Bible? You say you don't? You trying to find out in less than 2 minutes? You got 2 minutes? Right, let me get Isaiah chapter 43 and verse number 27. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse number 15. You familiar with the Bible? You said no. Right? Yeah.
Let me get Deuteronomy 20. That both got 43, 27. Let me get Deuteronomy 28, 15 first.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the Lord.
So I can read it right.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 15, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Brother, do you believe that we're following all the commandments that the Most High has told us to follow? You said no. And what do you think the byproduct of that is? We just read it, but I want to hear what your analyzations have showed you. Okay, what about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native? What about the... So, basically, they're the ones chiefly, right, who have nearest to the Most High God, who received the commandments, you understand? Because not everybody received the commandments. So, only a specific group of people have received instruction from the Most High and actual direct ordinances. Because you're familiar with the story of Moses who went to Mount Sinai, he came down to the Israelites. That's in Exodus chapter 24, verse 7, on down. How he read the book of the covenant unto the Israelites. And they say, hey, we're going to be obedient, we're going to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. So therefore, if we're not keeping the commandments, what do you think we're going through as a people? Yeah, we're going through hell on earth. You understand? And really, that's the only hell that exists. Is the hell that's on earth. You understand? Because hell is just the mind state. Right? And that's it. We could prove that, but you already said you believe that. So all praises to the Most High. Right? Hell is literally just a conceptual mind state. You understand? If you're going through affliction, turmoil, tribulation, you're going through hell.
Right.
That's as simple as that. But you see, Greek mythology try to, twist it up, make it seem as such that it's an actual place underneath the earth where Satan is, chilling down there with a pitchfork.
Right.
Right? And you hear a whole bunch of souls screaming and crying.
Right.
Burning up in a lake of fire. Yeah, it's all a misconception that they sat there and invented. It's all to sit there and do what? Keep us on their pathway that they want us on as opposed to the pathway we're supposed to be on with the Most High. You understand?
Thank you very much.
Lord of God, right? Yeah, for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
All right. Hold on, King, real quick. Because that's Satan trying to sit there and cut. You see, we're not. He kind of came up out of nowhere looking like them. It's Satan boss, man. Look, hey, I was sitting there talking about something. This is the glory of God, right? No, this is for our people at the end of the day. Now, we're cursed as a people now. Because we don't keep the commandments. You know, that's the reason why we sit there and say, oh, we feel like we're generationally cursed and we can't this, that, and the third because we just can't. You know what I'm saying? That's because we broke the commandments. I got you.
I hear what you guys are saying. I agree.
We got a flyer for you.
Brother, we got a flyer?
We got a flyer for the brother. Well, the moral of the story at the end of the day is you would be an Israelite, King. Here you go, King. Oh, there's. Right, so you'd be an Israelite, according to the Bible. That's what the Most High God called us as a nationality. We're not black, Hispanics, or Native Americans. When you say Hispanic, you're literally saying the property of Spain. When you say black, you're saying the color of your jacket. Now look at your hand. It's not the color of your jacket.
Of course not.
So, at the end of the day, and when you say Native American, you're saying that you're an original person of this landmass, of America. But this landmass existed before it was America. It's called Azeroth. You understand? So, all praise to the Most High, King.
That's right.
Right, what's going on, brother? What's happening with you? You know your nationality according to the Most High? What made you stop? All praises. All right. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get it for you. Yeah, go back to Deuteronomy 28:15.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15.
Bring it up.
Listening, brother? But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Right, so there's commandments that the Lord has given us. Are you familiar with them, are you? Yeah, well, it's more than 10 commandments, but chiefly that's what our people know of, the 10 commandments. But even with the 10 commandments, let me get you a command that our people break on the day-to-day. Exodus 20:8.
Get out!
Right, because do you know what today is? Well, now,
Saturday.
yeah, right, but what's the significance of Saturday according to the Lord?
Saturday.
Right, the elder said it. It's the 7th day, which is the what? The Sabbath day. That's what Christianity wants you to believe. Now, when you pull up your phone, right, and the brother's about to pull it up for you, right? What's the first day of the week? Exactly. So what could be what has to be the 7th day of the week? Saturday. Exactly. But see, Christianity, they sat there and tried to twist everything up and make it to something else. Now, when they sit there and do that on Sunday, they're actually worshiping and doing it unto a false god, idol. You understand? Idolatry. And really, in a Christian church, what do they bow themselves down to and praise? The cross. You understand? They don't actually sit there and pray to the Most High God. They sit there and bow themselves down and before a cross. Before Jesus Christ. When really you're supposed to praise the Father through Jesus Christ. You understand? So they got stuff ass backwards. There's a whole lot of other stuff, but at the end of the day, we teach you who you are and what you got to do with that information. That's why we out here, right? And bring it up.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse number 8.
Bring it up.
Remember the Sabbath day.
It's that what?
Remember the Sabbath
Go
day
ahead.
to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
So at the end of the day, we have 6 days to do all of our work, but the 7th day is a day of rest. You understand? Not even the Lord sat there and worked on the Sabbath day when he was creating this place, right? When he had the angels pretty much creating this place, right? And he sat there and told them, hey, rest from y'all work, man. Right? It's the Sabbath. So we got to do the same thing likewise, right? But what are we doing on Saturday night? Going to the club, right? Because we just got paid on Friday. Direct deposit just hit at 8 a.m. Friday morning. So everybody's sitting there going out Friday night. That's when the Sabbath starts. At sundown. Because how were they measuring the times back then? We didn't have clockwork. We was looking at the sun. Right? The moon and the stars for our appointed seasons, man, in which we know the feast days were. You understand? So these different things is how we were able to understand the times. But that's just one commandment out of the 10 that our people are breaking on a day-to-day. Right? On a week-to-week, rather. Because the Sabbath is once a week. So, where's thou shalt not commit adultery? What verse? Read 14.
Verse number 14.
Look it up.
Thou shalt not commit adultery. Verse 15.
Right? And that's another one that our people sit there and break. Read the next one.
Thou shalt not steal.
What do our people do, man? Set each other up, backdoor each other.
Not everybody.
You said not everybody, you're right, but as a vast majority, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
That's any human. Any human will steal.
Right.
Do what they got to do.
Right.
Means there was something, depending on the situation. Not to negate your point.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the 10 Commandments that our people break on a day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? And also committing adultery. That's another one that our people sit there and break. Because sex is marriage. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so sex is marriage. So once you sit there and lie down with a woman, that's your wife. So if another man, hey, she sit there and say, oh, I'm done with this, right? She walk out the door, she moves to another city, and she lying down with another man, and guess what? They're in adultery. Now they're adulterers.
Don't you know? Don't you know when a person lie with one person, they lay down with 3 or 4 of them other people. They allow them other people's spirits. Them other people's spirits don't got into that one person, that other person that they don't lay down with. So why you want to lay down with somebody that got so many spirits in them that you want to put those spirits in you?
Yeah, and that's why the Lord has these different things in order and in place, man.
Yeah.
Right? To allow us to have sanctification, man. Right? Purity, man. Now we can be chaste.
I don't want to lay with no woman because she don't lay with 3 or 4 different guys. I don't got
Go to 28 and 15 again. Right?
some of those spirits.
That's right. And the elder hit it right on the head. So at the end of the day, I just brought down 3 commandments within the 10 that our people break on a day-to-day. Now, I just brought that out to pretty much say
At the Christianity church, they'll sit there and say, you got to keep the 10 Commandments, and they're breaking these themselves. Because what? Sabbath day is what? They say Sunday. So they already breaking that commandment. They be buying and selling like shit. And as soon as the service is over, they done sat there and had meals prepped since the morning. You're not supposed to cook on the Sabbath.
Right.
Or you're not supposed to buy and sell. They sitting there going, oh, I gotta go to Walmart, baby. I gotta go get the greens. Right? Break it, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, even if that was their Sabbath, right? Even if that was biblically correct, they would still be breaking it. So the Lord, He's wroth with us. He's upset. He's mad.
What? This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all His commandments and statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right? And the Lord said, if we break these commandments and we didn't observe them nor listen to them, right? Hey, we will be cursed as a people. Right? We will be punished. Don't you feel like we cursed, brother? The blacks, you said the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we the only ones that don't got shit for ourselves, and we don't really got that much history. They say our history doesn't go past 1619. But real talk, we had kings, man. We had rulers, man. We had princes, man. We had provinces, man. We had land that belonged to us, man. You understand? But they don't tell us about that.
That's right.
You understand? So, read 68.
Come on. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68.
Look it up.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
what?
Into Egypt again.
What were the Israelites doing in Egypt? Do you know? Yeah, they were slaves, you understand? So if he's saying that the Lord said He's going to bring us into Egypt again, what do you think He's saying? You think He's talking about the landmass, or you think He's talking about slavery? Yeah, He's talking about slavery. Because never once did we go back into Egypt as a nation of people again after we got out. Because this is in Deuteronomy, you understand? This is the time of our forefathers.
What?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Into slavery again, right? Go ahead.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
Now, how did we get over here?
Bring it up.
We got over here on slave ships, you understand? So what is this actually talking about, man? It's talking about the slavery in which we've been in since 1619, 1521 for our Northern Kingdom brothers as well. Right? This is a slavery that's still ongoing. It hasn't stopped. It changed in some ways to some effect. It's not really any more physical, but now it's more so mental and systematic.
Yeah, all up here.
Because guess what? When we sit there and we want to get a job, we're the first hired, last hired, right? And we sit there and get paid the least. You understand? We got to get it out the mud and sit there and try to figure out a situation. And most of the times when we figuring out a situation, we got to get a damn rapper deal, right? We got to sit there and get some type of label to sign us. We got to sit there and be good at some type of sport to please them, right? We got to sit there and, hey, we got to bend over backwards just to sit there and make it in this society, man. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right. Do you know where your homeland is? And we didn't know for a long time either. You understand? But our homeland is Israel.
That's right.
That's where we're from originally. And even history, when you go into it, it'll tell you that the oldest existing city is Jericho, which is located within that the Fertile Crescent. You understand? Which is by Israel. You understand? Which pretty much is Israel. You understand? So go ahead.
There ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
Now we've been sold into slavery unto our enemies, not our friends, not our family, not our brothers, but our enemies, the Lord said.
Right.
So, and guess what? It wasn't just a white man that bought us and sold us. You had the East Indian man that sat there and bought us and sold us, which would be the biblical Elamites during the sub-Saharan slave trade. You had the Moabite and the Ammonites, which are the biblical definition of the Japanese and the Chinese man that had us in slavery during the Silk Road slave trade. Then the transatlantic slave trade, you had the Africans, right, which are biblical Hamites who sold us into the Europeans and got us brought over here, man.
Right, teacher.
You understand? So we've been sold to each and every nation underneath the sun, man. They've tossed us to and fro. You understand? So therefore, it can only be talking about one people because only us went through slavery. The white man can't never sit there and say they went through slavery. They may sit there and try to pull, oh yeah, the Irish man, they were in slavery, but no, they were indigenous servants. They signed a contract agreement for little pay to sit there and pretty much work off their debts. That's completely different. We didn't sign up for this shit. We just kind of got placed in it. Because why? The Lord sat there and was mad with us, man. He's still mad with us to this day because why we're still breaking the commandments. Right? So at the end of the day, we know that the Bible is talking about the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans when it's talking about the Israelites. Because everything that the Israelites are going through right now, these curses that we sit there and read, right, is what we're going through as a people. You understand? Does that sup with your spirit? Does it make sense? You said it's coming together. Okay, right. And a lot of us never did before, you know, sat there, stopped the first time, or we seen a video or anything like that too. So it definitely is going to take a second. But let me get Baruch chapter 3 and verse number 8. I'm going to get like 2 more precepts for the brother and I'm going to pass it.
Close it up. Oh, okay, come. Hold on, I'm finna go for like 30 more minutes.
Baruch chapter 3 and verse number 8.
Look it up.
God, this is the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Look it up.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
What?
We are yet in this day in our captivity.
We're still in captivity, man. Let me get Haggai chapter, no, Salaki, it's actually in that same verse. Go ahead.
God, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments.
To be what?
To be subject for payments. According to all the iniquities of our fathers.
It said because of the iniquities of our fathers, because they broke the commandments, because they didn't listen to the Most High God, we're paying up that tab.
Wow.
We're now, what, still in slavery, to where we're subject to payments.
That's right.
You got a car note on this? Hey, all praises, you got the means to do that. Right, a lot of us, hey, we got car payments, man. We got mortgages, we got to sit there and pay taxes. We can't dodge the IRS for too long. Hey, you sit there and see 20 cents is missing and they're going to call you up, man.
Life insurance.
Yeah, life insurance, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay for your benefits. You can't get health care unless you got, you know, your benefits sorted out. Whatever the case may be. Otherwise, you go to the hospital, they're going to sit there and try to charge you an arm and a leg, $20,000. Like, damn, all I got was a couple of stitches.
I got humana though.
I didn't even go under.
I got humana.
You know what I'm saying? So, in this place, this captivity that we're in, we're subject to payments, and we don't even got the means to sit there and pay them up. We always in debt as a people, man. Our credit score, as a vast majority, now you got some of our brothers, some of our people that got their credit score up in A1. 800, 850, perfect score. You know what I'm saying? But for the vast majority, and talking about our nation as a whole, hey, all that stuff is out the window, man. Most of our people are in the ghettos and the slums, man, the projects, man. You understand? So this is how we're looking upon things. Some of our people, yeah, they make it, but it's like, what did they have to do to sit there and get to that place? You more than likely wasn't keeping the commandments on the way there.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we understand through these different things, right, that the Lord is telling us all throughout the Bible that the Israelites is actually us.
That's right.
We get Songs of Solomon chapter 1 and verse number 10. Songs of Solomon chapter 1 and verse number 10.
This is the book of Songs of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Look it up.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold.
That's right, man. Who do you think that's talking about? Yeah, but who's the Israelites, as we just said? Yeah, it's us. Right, because guess what? It said thy cheeks are comely. Read it again.
Come, thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels.
What do you think that's talking about? Grills. Gold grills, the slugs, right? Encrusted diamonds all up in your grills. That's what our people do when they sit there and get their first rapper check. Right? Little baby, what he gonna do? 4 PF chain, throw around his neck. It said gold chains, man. You understand? All right, King. You got a flyer, brother? All praise to the Most High. You're an Israelite, King. Hold fast to that knowledge. Repent, keep the Most High commandments. It's much love. Yeah. You know, all praise to the Most High, though. Let me get Zephaniah chapter 1 and verse number 14. Zephaniah 1 and 14. You get Genesis chapter. Actually, no. I'll just keep it simple. We can do Zephaniah 2 and 1. Zephaniah 1 and 14.
This is the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 14.
No.
The great day of the Lord is near. The great day of the Lord is near.
Go ahead.
It is near and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities.
Right, these are the different things of which are coming to America, man. What's going on, brother?
How you doing, brother?
You doing all right tonight?
Can't complain.
All praises to the Most High. You know your nationality?
Of course.
What's your nationality, brother?
Hebrew Israelite.
All praises to the Most High. What tribe you come out of?
I mean, that can't be discerned at this time.
Okay. Hey, that's a reasonable answer right there.
Yeah.
You understand? And we only sit there and guess it right, hardly. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but it could be spiritually discerned.
That too. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, when it comes time for it all, we'll know.
That's right.
Hey, so all praises to the Most High. You got any questions, King?
No, I just came to show support.
All praises to the Most High, man. Right? And we out here for our people, man, at the end of the day. So, let me get Ezekiel chapter 37 real quick. And I actually wanted to go back to that Leviticus 14 too. We don't gotta get Ezekiel 37. Let me get Leviticus 14. Because I didn't finish touching on all that.
Leviticus chapter 14.
Huh?
Verse what?
I think we was at 36.
The book of Leviticus chapter 14 and verse 36.
Look it up.
Then the priest shall command that they empty the house before the priests go into it to see the plague, that all that is in the house be not made unclean.
That's right. So at the end of the day, what we were talking about earlier, we was going into the leprosy. You understand? So now there's leprous upon the house. We're talking about how we're a spiritual house for the Most High. So we can't let leprosy be growing within our temples. Because why? We start to corrupt the Most High's house, the spiritual house in which we're building up for him. Once we corrupt that house, hey, guess what? Well, the Lord's not going to allow that to happen at the end of the day. You got corruption and you got evil and wickedness within you, and guess what? You're going to get cast away, man. And he's going to replace your brick. Because we read in 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse number 5 that we're lively stones building up a spiritual house for the Most High. You understand? So that's why we're going into this. We also went into 2 Ezra chapter 14 where it says, set thy house in order. Right? We're trying to make sure we're setting our house in order in these last days. Making sure we're doing all that it takes to please the Most High.
That's right.
So go ahead.
Come. And afterward the priest shall go in to see the house. And he shall look on the plague, and behold, if the plague be in the walls of the house with hollow straits, greenish or reddish, which in sight are lower than the wall, then the priest shall go out of the house to the door of the house and shut up the house 7 days.
Right, so there's different spirits in this thing, man. Right, it may be a spirit of lust. Then you're able to distinguish that through the color, man. Right? It's at a greenish reddish tint, man. It may be lust, man. All right, cool. Hey, look, we examined the situation. We kind of understood where it was coming from. All right, cool. Isolate from this. You know what I'm saying? Isolate from this. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you fasting and praying. Hey, 7 days. Make sure you making your vessel clean, man. And it should be done away with. It should be gone, man. Right? So these are the different things that is taken in these last days, man. But it all starts with self-examination and confessing your faults. Because guess what? If the owner of that house never went to the priest and let them know, it would have turned to something much worse. So you got to cut things off. Hey, as soon as your right eye offended, pluck it out. Your right arm offended, hey, cut it off. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking about on a physical fold, but you got to be, you got to be on point with these different things, man.
Go ahead.
Come. And the priest shall come again the 7th day, and shall look, and behold, if the plague be spread in the walls of the house, then the priest shall command that they take away the stones in which the plague is, and they shall cast them into an unclean place without the city.
That's right, man. So now, if it's starting to get worse, now the situation's starting to grow. All right, we gotta sit there and figure out what the root of the problem is. We get to the root of the problem where it said what the stones in which it was growing. Now we take those things forth, we throw them into the unclean place, man. And we're making sure we're trying to get this place clean as best as possible.
That's right.
Now, you got to sit there and put this into... Let me get Job chapter 11, verse number 6 real quick. And I love this precept because you could always find out something new within the Bible just depending on the spirit in which you're reading it.
Job 11:6.
This is the book of Job, chapter 11, verse 6. And that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are doubled, that which is known. That they are double that which is know thereof. Therefore, that the Lord, that God, I'm going to start at the top. This is the book of Job, chapter 11, verse number 6.
Look it up.
And that he will show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is. Know thereof that God exactive of thee less than thy iniquity desire.
That's right, man. And the Lord has great mercy upon us, man. It said, we know that the Lord, he has more mercy on us than what he needs to, man. Because he's given us less of a chastisement for what our iniquity deserves, man. That's what that verse pretty much was saying, man. But also, it was saying that knowledge and the secrets of wisdom is double to that which is, man. So like I said, you can always find out something new within this Bible just depending on what spirit you're reading it. You understand? So now, again, going back to what we were reading in Leviticus chapter 14, now we understand that, when we check back in to see what's going on, that's us what? Checking on our brother. Now we held our brother accountable to make sure, okay, cool, are you doing X, Y, and Z to make sure that we're able to cut this thing off? And if it's still going on after we come in and check on the brother, hey, we got to sit there and take more extreme measures. Now we got to sit there and examine the situation a little bit deeper. Now we got to sit there and see where this is actually coming from, man. Is this something coming from your past? Is this a spirit that's been around and now it's just showing its ass? You know what I'm saying? We got to get to the root of it all. Then, okay, cool. We're able to cast forth the root of the problem into an unclean place. And what?
Isolate the situation again. Isolate the house again.
John, and shall cast them into an unclean place without the city, and he shall cause the house to be scraped within round about, and they shall pour out the dust that they scrape off without the city into an unclean place.
Hey, it's a deep clean going on, man. So making sure it's clean and serene, man. You understand? And that comes through fasting and prayer, man. That comes through spiritual sacrifice, man. You understand? That's what our people have to understand in these last days, man. It takes a lot more than you just going to the damn Christian church house and being lied to and deceived, man.
Right.
Seek ye out of the book for yourself, man. Find what actually is, find your purpose, man. Find your spiritual talents, find your spiritual gifts, man. Stop being lied to by the damn Christian pastor, the pork-eating pastor, cigarette-smoking, drunkard pastor that sits there and comes up with his sermons the night before, speaking out of his damn belly, quoting one scripture, right, and singing and having a choir sing for the rest of the mass. You gotta sit and taking your money, like the brother said, man. Right? If that ain't one hell of a finesse, man, you're wasting your damn time. You traveled all the way over there. You got your family with you. You gotta sit there and make sure that you paying tithes. Oh, man, this is the biggest finesse ever.
They paying to be lied.
Right. You understand? And they can't even talk on certain situations due to the funding that they got, man. And the agreements that they got with the government.
That's right.
They can't talk about the LGBTQIA plus, whatever the case it may be. They can't talk about that stuff in the church house, man. That's why you don't ever hear about it.
Yes.
Right? What you got? No, that's okay. Right? But these different things, we got to sit there and actually let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse number 5, actually. So you got some of our people that are caught up in that Christianity still. You got some of our people that's actually in this truth, but they lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? They kind of hot one day, then they cold the next day, then they, you know what I'm saying? And we got to examine our situations in this thing, man.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Look it up.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5.
Look it up.
Does not behave itself unseemly, seek not her own, is not easily provoked, think no evil. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 13 and verse 5. Examine yourself. Examine yourself. Whether ye be in faith. Prove your own self. Prove your own self.
You gotta prove your spirit, man. What's good for you, what's bad for you, you understand? What actually helps boost you up, right? What allows you to feel or that boost of virtue, man? You gotta prove these different you gotta prove these different things for yourself, man. Right? And then if you can't find everything, you can't find every spot, every stain and blemish. Hey, let me get Psalms chapter 126, and let me see it when you get there. You gotta ask the Most High. You gotta ask the Most High to examine you in prayer sometimes, man. Just so he could bring revelations through. Right? You had David who sat there and said, "Examine me, O Lord," man. You got it? Verse 1.
Okay, you have
Bear with me, King. I'll definitely want to get this precept though. Let me get Psalms 139 and 23. I was thinking about it in the precept. You got it?
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 139 and verse 23.
Look it up.
Search me, O Yahweh.
What?
Search me, O Yahweh. and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting.
That's right, man. We gotta ask the Most High for these things sometimes, man.
That's right.
Because we can't do it all on our own, man. Where we fall short is where faith is supposed to pick us up. You understand? So go back to that in Leviticus chapter 14. We're gonna get a couple more and then we're gonna wind down.
Can I continue on?
Yeah.
John. And they shall take other stones and put them in the place of those stones. And he shall take other mortar and shall place plaster in the house.
Hey, we gotta do spiritual surgery sometimes, man.
That's right.
You gotta sit there and take these old traits and traditions of you damn, playing the game, texting that, that same wicked old Eve that always gets you in that damn trap, man, where you're not supposed to be. You understand? Getting out the spirit, all types of stuff. You gotta take you out of different environments, and we replace those different stones, man, with what? Better traditions, man. All right, now we got weekly calls in place, man. Now we doing weekly pop-ups on you, man. Now we going out each and every month, man, making sure that we do something together as a congregation, man.
That's right.
You understand? Expounding on that brotherly love, man. Having that kind, compassionate towards our brother, man. You understand? These are the things of which are necessary, man. Right? Without these different things, hey, the body cannot function properly, man. We're all one body, man. Brothers cannot sit there and you can't get the job done with a broken foot, man. If the foot is broken, and you gotta make sure the foot gets healed, man.
That's right.
You gotta make sure the foot goes back to 100%, man. So this way y'all can start operating again at 100%, man. You understand? You can't just sit there and say, well, hey, I guess we're gonna have to get some crutches now. Right? No. Build your brother back up, man. Get him back in the place where he's supposed to be. You understand? These are the different things that we got to look at, man, and examine, man. Because our people, hey, they think, hey, let me get Philippians chapter 2 and verse number 12. His brothers take this a little too deep to the heart, man. What's going on, brother? You know your nationality according to the Bible? You're more likely to be an Israelite. You got to repent and come back to the Most High.
That's right.
Separate from your enemy and dog.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 12.
Look it up.
Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation.
What?
Work out your own salvation.
Brothers hear this and they lose their goddamn mind. Oh yeah, I gotta be an individual right now. I gotta get my study in, man. I'm not coming to camp today because I didn't get a chance to study this week, so I gotta study for myself today. brothers lose their damn mind when they hear that, man. You understand? Hey, the Lord's saying to work out your own salvation. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, you still gotta be there for your brothers.
That's right.
You still gotta show compassion and brotherly love, man. You understand? Jake, man, our people is spitting, man. What madness. Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 28. That's a curse that would happen to our people, man. It's a real life curse.
What's going on, family?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse number 28.
Look it up.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Hey, you can't make it up, man. Jake in the middle of the damn streets of Atlanta dancing with a shirt off.
Hey, Ecclesiastes 77 say oppression maketh
Shortly
the wise.
oppression maketh the wise man mad.
But it's mental illness, that's the order of the day.
That too. And that's why I say Job 11 and 6 is a beautiful precept, man. Because things are double to that which is, man. Now you can sit there and look at that definition of mad as crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Mentally
Driven
ill.
out of your mind, or you can look at it mad as, hey, we get angry, man. We
That's
pissed
right.
off, man.
Right.
He got mental problems. I know.
Okay. Well,
He's schizophrenic.
Okay, let me get 2nd Ezra chapter 7 verse number 66 real quick.
That was a schizophrenic person.
I'm gonna go ahead and wind down with this precept right here. I'm gonna wind down with this precept here. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's all, let me get 1 Peter chapter 4 and 1.
Look at 2nd Ezra, chapter 7 and verse 66.
Look it up.
And that he is of great mercy.
What?
And he's of great mercy. For he multiplieth more and more mercies to them that are present, and that are past, and also to them which are to come.
Right?
For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world will not continue with them that inherit their end.
That's right, man. And the Lord multiplies his mercies and his grace continually, man. That we can even be sustained and continue on, man. Because it said if the Lord didn't multiply his mercies, the world wouldn't continue any longer therein. That's deep, man. It's on the Lord's mercy that we wake up each and every day, man. And that we make it back home. And that we're able to sleep next to our wife. Or that we're able to just sleep in bed in general, man. You understand? Right? So, bringing this up. 1 Peter 4:1.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 1. For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
It's that what?
Likewise with the same mind.
It's that arm what?
Arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Right? Hey, what Christ sat there and went through for us as a people, hey, guess what? We got to arm ourselves likewise with the same mind. Hey, Yahweh Shah offer himself up, man. You understand? He let the Romans sit there and take him, man. And he was doing what he was doing. He was getting down, man. He was getting busy, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like we was talking about earlier, man. Hey, you had the scribes and the damn priests looking for him, man. And he sat there and popped out still. Doing his damn thing, man. And it kind of transfigured out the crowd once things got hot. There's no telling how you know what I'm saying, how he got out of there. Kind of got low. You know how Jake moved. Put the hood on, like brother was doing earlier. He kind of put the hood on. He kind of get low, man. Run up out of there. But let me get John chapter 21 and verse number 25. And we're not ignorant to this either. I want to bring this precept out first because now, not you, but you say this to certain brothers. They sit there and say, "Oh, now you going off." what the hell are you talking about? Yeah,
21, 25.
Okay. This is the book of John, chapter 21 and verse 25.
Look it up.
And there are, and there are also many other things which Yahushua did, the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that should be written.
That's right, man. So all the miracles that the Lord has done, man, even if they were to all be documented and written down, the world wouldn't even be able to contain all the books they're in, man. That's how many miracles the Lord has performed.
That's right.
So it's no telling how he really got out of that crowd. He could have kind of transfigured out of there. He could have teleported to the temple. Hey, you know what I'm saying? And the Lord could do anything, man. Let me get Philippians chapter 4, verse number 13. We're going to close out with that. It's a mighty book, man. The epistles is mighty, man. Once you're able to break it down and kind of dissect everything and understand it, epistles is mighty as hell, man. Say what, King? Yeah.
4 and 13.
This is the book of Philippians, chapter 4, verse 13. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Christ.
Go ahead.
Which strengthens me. Not with. I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me.
That's right, man. We can do all things through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, man. And that's the reason why we come out here week in and week out and we preach this word, Salakia, with no fear within our hearts, man, but a fear of the Lord, man. You understand? Hey, so at the end of the day, man, Lord willing, you know, we was edified through a couple of things that we brought out. You kind of came a little, you know what I'm saying? You kind of came in here a little late, but you have any other questions, though?
No, the word went out. It just came to support.
All praises to the Most High. And that's very lovely, man. We need the brotherly love and the support, man. Because sometimes, you know, get rough out here, man.
That's right.
Brothers feel like we out here by ourselves sometimes, man. It'd be desolate. No fishes coming by. We just kind of going into a lesson and, hey, you know what I'm saying? But all praises to the Most High, King. You know, and all praises to the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, for his grace and his mercy that he continues to multiply each and every day. Yeah, I be seeing you too, and I was just watching the video too. You was over there with Chief Eleazar, right? He was talking to Sakari now. You be getting around, Elder. Yeah. Elder be getting around, man.
That's OT too.
God, yeah. That's OT. Hey, the Elder get around, man. Hey, he gonna make sure he occupy himself for righteousness on the Sabbath, man. If we in Augusta, he gonna make sure he find another camp up the block somewhere. It might be HOI, maybe SOT, and maybe Psychotic. He said, I'm gonna get this damn word, man. And that's beautiful, man. That's how our people should be in these last days. But with that, come here, Charlotte. 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 Come here, Charlotte.